Welcome back, everyone. So we learned about the idea of marginality and how it applied to all decision making. So today we're going to do our very first cut of what in economics we call the theory of the firm. So to remind you, when you look at markets, you've got producers and consumers, and we've looked at the theory of demand, the theory of the consumer. Now we're going to look at the producers in output markets. So just remember, in output markets, the people who sell the stuff are called firms. And we are going to look at how do firms make decisions. So the first thing we have to remember is that every time we produce a theory, before we can do any analysis or graphs, we have to kind of figure out our social context and our social analysis. So we're going to have to answer questions such as, well, before I tell you the theory of the firm, blah, 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 who am I talking about? Am I talking about mom and pop's pizza joint? That's one theory. Am I talking about Amazon? That's another theory, right? So I can't have a one-size-fits-all analysis. So in order for me to do good analysis, what I need to do is to start by giving you the environment that I'm assuming firms operate in. And in our story, just to start with, we know it is not the story for every firm, and we're going to moderate the story as we go on. We're going to start with the perfectly competitive firm. This is an interesting firm. It's small. It's so small that it's not actually in a position to have any major direct influence on consumers or prices. It produces its stuff. It's a teeny-weeny firm, and then it sells the stuff. And as a result, it is a perfectly competitive firm, which means it is a price taker. It does not get to set the price. Just like when I walk into Rite Aid and I just accept the price of milk, I don't sit and haggle with the Rite Aid lady saying, let me pay you $50 less. In the same way, whoever these people who sell the milk are, they show up. So when you go to the farmer's market or wherever, they show up. They've got pricing. That's the price. They have to accept the price they find in the market. Right? So the idea is, just like consumers, firms are also price takers. That's the first assumption. Second, firms usually are not engaging in competition around branding, around advertising, marketing, around consumer preferences, market share. They don't have the capacity to do that because there is free entry and exit. Anybody who can sell this product at this price can show up. And this happens, right? So when I drive my car, there is a farm stand. And then of late, I've noticed there are now 5 farm stands. Every time I drive by, nobody can stop them. And, you know, there's free entry and exit. Anybody can show up with a basket of cherries and say, so much for Rainier cherries. Right? Anybody can come. If you can't sell your cherries, anybody can leave. So what you're doing is you're a price taker. You got free entry and exit. And that means that the only competition is that who can manage to sell their stuff at the going price and make a profit. That's it. So that set of assumptions is both going to give us the context within which firms operate, and that's the context within which we decide markets are efficient. So just remember, if this is not true, a lot of the things people tell you about efficient markets aren't true. But also, this is the context within which the firm is operating, which means that when I talk about the firm's profit maximization, I'm saying that, you know, if I'm a firm where I've got a ton of monopoly power and I can make a change in how consumers behave and I can advertise, I might actually approach profit maximization differently. And when we come to the theories of monopolies and oligopolies, we'll see how that works. But, you know, to start with, the average firm essentially has to figure out how to produce, sell, and make a profit in this environment as a price taker with free entry and exit among millions, thousands, hundreds, whatever, of other firms.